They don't shout, they don't demand, they don't need to. Virgo can dismantle illusions and rebuild entire worlds with nothing more than their silence, their precision, and their truth. And that is why Virgo is one of the most dangerous signs of the zodiac. Not dangerous because they want to hurt you, dangerous because they see what others miss. Dangerous because they notice everything the words you chose not to say, the detail you thought no one would ever catch, the way your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes. Virgo lives in the world of details, and details never lie. While others are distracted by appearances, Virgo sees beneath the surface. You can deceive the crowd. You can even deceive yourself. But you cannot deceive a Virgo, and that alone makes them dangerous. Spend even a little time with a Virgo, and you'll realize they are always observing. They notice how you speak, how you move, how your energy shifts. They connect dots no one else thought to connect. To the untrained eye, their mind might seem quiet, but inside it's a constant analysis, measuring, weighing, discerning truth from noise. They don't do it to control you. They do it because that's who they are. Precision is their gift. Discernment is their weapon. And when they finally speak, their words cut sharper than any blade, not because they're cruel, but because they're exact. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, planet of intellect and communication, but unlike Gemini's playful words, Virgo's communication is refined, sharpened by thought, tested against reality. That's why their words linger. When Virgo tells you something, it doesn't fade. It plants itself in your mind, echoing until you face it. And often what they tell you is the thing you least wanted to hear, but most needed. Virgo is dangerous because they demand truth, not loudly, but with a quiet insistence that makes denial impossible. They won't scream at you to change. They'll simply show you the cracks in your story, the inconsistencies in your excuses, the flaw in your plan. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. But their danger doesn't end in clarity. Virgo's influence is subtle, patient, transformative. They don't conquer with force. They heal with presence, and healing is one of the most dangerous forces in the world. Because true healing requires you to shed illusions, to face pain, to change. Virgo will not do this for you. They will hold space, offer guidance, quietly place the tools in your hands. But it is you who must choose to use them. And once you do, you are never the same again. Their power lies in the fact that they don't need recognition. They can serve, support, uplift, and never once demand the spotlight. This humility makes people underestimate them. They think Virgo is just careful, just reserved, just polite. Until one day they realize Virgo has been shaping their life all along, helping them see clearer, move smarter, choose better. Virgo works like water on stone, subtle and steady, carving deep changes that no one can erase. Imagine someone who knows your patterns better than you do. someone who notices your strengths and your weaknesses, who sees potential in you you're blind to. That's Virgo. They can be the most loyal supporters, guiding you to excellence, holding you to standards you never thought you could reach. But they can also be the most relentless critics because they see when you settle for less, when you cut corners, when you betray your own potential. They can love you fiercely, but they will not let you lie to yourself. And sometimes that truth feels like fire. Virgo's relationship with perfection is complicated. They see how things could be how they should be. They live with an ideal in their mind and they measure everything against it. This makes them brilliant builders, organizers, healers, but it also makes them painfully self-critical. The same sharp eye they turn on the world, they turn on themselves, often harsher, often crueler. They notice every flaw in their reflection, every mistake in their past, every imperfection in their work. And that battle inside them, the battle to accept imperfection while longing for perfection, is what makes them both fragile and indestructible. Fragile because the weight of their own standards can crush them. Indestructible because no one pushes themselves harder, no one rises from mistakes stronger, no one refines themselves with such relentless dedication. Virgo's danger lies not only in how they transform others, but in how they transform themselves. They are always evolving, always improving, always shedding old skins for new ones. You cannot stop a Virgo's growth, and that unstoppable force carried in silence is more powerful than fire or thunder. But there's another truth about Virgo that makes them dangerous, their care. Yes, their care. They will notice when you're tired, when you're hungry, when your voice cracks with sadness. They will show up with tea when you didn't even say you were sick. They will fix what's broken, mend what's torn, organize the chaos of your world. And while that sounds gentle, almost saintly, here's the danger. Once you've been loved by a Virgo, you will never forget it. Because their love is practical, precise, consistent. It isn't loud or flashy. It's the kind that rebuilds you piece by piece. And once you've felt that kind of love, nothing else compares. That's why people find it so hard to let go of Virgo. They may leave, but their fingerprints remain on your life. The way you fold your clothes, the way you face your fears, the way you learned to take care of yourself. Virgo doesn't just love you while they're there. They leave pieces of themselves in your habits, your growth, your healing. And that is why they're dangerous, because their influence endures. Of course, not everyone can handle Virgo. Their honesty can feel sharp. Their standards can feel suffocating. Their silence can feel like judgment, even when it's just observation. Some people resent them for seeing too much, for pointing out what others prefer to ignore. But Virgo doesn't point out flaws to destroy you. They point them out because they believe you deserve better, because they believe life can be better. and their danger lies in that unwavering belief. You may resist them, you may argue with them, but in the quiet of the night, when you're alone with your thoughts, you'll remember what they said, and slowly you'll begin to change. So, yes, Virgo is dangerous, not because they roar, but because they whisper, not because they demand, but because they inspire, not because they break you down, but because they build you up, whether you're ready or not. If you're Virgo, you already know the weight you carry. You know how exhausting it can be to see so much, to feel responsible for fixing, for healing, for helping. You know how your mind rarely rests, how your heart rarely stops caring. But you also know the quiet pride of watching someone grow because of you, the deep fulfillment of putting order where there was chaos, the unshakable strength that comes from holding yourself to the highest standards. You are not weak. You are not invisible. You are the silent power, the one who changes everything without needing to be seen. And if you're not Virgo, maybe now you understand why they are both loved and feared. Because when Virgo enters your life, you will be challenged, you will be seen, you will be asked to rise to your highest potential, and whether you want it or not, you will never be the same again. Virgo's danger is not destruction, it is transformation. They don't burn you down, they refine you. They don't chain you, they liberate you from your illusions. They don't demand perfection from you, they awaken the perfection that already lives inside you. That is why Virgo is the silent power of the zodiac. Because without shouting, without force, without needing recognition, they change everything. And once you've been touched by a Virgo, you will never forget it.